Hey guys, it's Jesse Brower with Jesse Brower's Leads and Data, also the founder of Telecentric. This is where I'm living in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, in this little community. You got houses and the Palapa area. It's kind of cool for the kids. And we have lots of Bible studies and birthday parties over here. It's really nice. There's fans and stuff. So, pretty cool spot that I was able to find. And it's been a blessing. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's a lot smaller than the place that we were living in the Philippines, but it serves us. And I don't have an office in the house because I go to the clubhouse that they have in the community. So there's like neighborhoods in here, and so it's like a double gated community. So you have the main gate, and then you have the gate to get into your neighborhood. And there is a clubhouse on the facility that has a co-working space, like a really legit, air conditioned co-working space. And not a lot of people go in there, so I use that to work. And then there's also a gym, a sauna, a lot of cool stuff, tennis courts, a soccer field, big swimming pool. And then we have this spot, and I like it because, like I said, we do a lot of Bible studies here and stuff. And then there's the pool, and the kids, play out here, and I can turn on the fans. I just have to hit the breaker over here if I want to use the fans. But, this place is expensive for the area, but like way cheaper than what I'd be paying for like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath in a similar type of community, back in the United States or whatever. And it's nice. So I'm happy to be living here. Eventually I want to buy some property in Mexico. There's a better shot of the house. I'm just turning the fans on, so the fans help a lot. It is July. So there's the spot, and I've got the storm window shut just to keep the house a little bit cooler. So I'm renting the house for 26,500 pesos, and I'm renting the car for 13,000 pesos. So that's like $1,500 plus 780 or something. So you figure whatever that is, 1,500 plus 780, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So about $2,300. I got the house and the car, and then utilities. You figure maybe $300 a month for electricity, maybe 50 to $100 for water. So you figure 25, 2,600. And then gas is probably $50 a month. So maybe 2,700 for the expenses of the house. And then you figure another $1,000 for groceries, about 3,700, more or less 4,000 for expenses to be living out here, without any other spending. And there's my daughter Julia. So it ain't bad. It's not cheaper. Like, I mean, for $4,000 you could live in America. Like, you could make it happen. And that's about what I'm spending to live out here in Playa del Carmen. It's definitely more expensive than the Philippines. Like, I could have a huge spot for what I'm paying over here, like a 7 bedroom house or something. But like I said, I like it for now. It's cool. We're just hanging out in Mexico until we get Mexican citizenship. And once we do that, then we'll be able to go back to the Philippines and, basically live a great life over there as well. But my kind of long term plan is to stay here because we've got a Mexican daughter born here, Mexican citizen, Mexican papers, passport, everything, and another baby on the way. Wife is pregnant again, which will also be a Mexican baby. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. And then I just have to apply for Mexican citizenship, and I'll be able to also have my papers and a passport. And then I'll be able to renounce my U.S. citizenship, go live in the Philippines as a lawful permanent resident, as a Mexican citizen living as a lawful permanent resident in the Philippines, and be legally tax free for the rest of my life because they do not tax foreigners on foreign sourced income. And I make all my money online from customers all over the world. So it's a legal, no gray area, completely above board, tax free life that I'm trying to build here. And but the plan is, to come back every summer because I think the school year gets out in April in the Philippines. So we'd come over here like April, May, and then maybe part of June or something like that, 2.5 months every year. Visit our church friends, visit the friends that we've made, and then go back to the Philippines for the school year. We're probably 2 to 3 years out on that, though. I think I'm going to spend another 2 to 3 years in Mexico before I make the move back to Philippines. But in the meantime, I'm still going to build Telecentric again, pretty much from scratch. I've still got 10 computers sitting over in a relative's house in the Philippines, but I'm going to start hiring. I'm going to start with one employee to make calls directly for me to find leads buyers. And then, we'll add on and ultimately scale Telecentric into a big call room again and multiple locations. And then I want to get some developers, some vibe coder type people in the Philippines to work for me, and then offer other type of services as well beyond just the telemarketing and cold calling, and have a an AI focus on our offerings as well. So, ultimately looking to scale telecentric again. Right now, it's just me, myself, and I, posting, texting, calling, finding leads buyers. So I sell leads for everything. Traditionally, it was mostly just solar leads. And now it's leads for everything. Anything people are searching for on the internet, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have leads for it through the search intent portal. And then, homeowner data, consumer data, B2B data, for call centers that need like massive 400,000 homeowners. We supply that, and then we provide the dialing software. So we provide VC dialer build outs. We also offer AI voice telemarketers and text bots and human virtual assistants. So like if you need me to source you a virtual assistant, I can do that. So whether you're selling solar, insurance, you're doing fiber, security now, it doesn't matter. This thing has leads for everything, all under the last 48 hours, depending on how large your area is. And I've got different sales and different things. Typically, I sell it for $12.50 a month, but sometimes I have offers where you can get it for cheaper than that. And it's a reoccurring thing. So like you sign up for it, you download leads for a month, and if you want to keep it, you can renew and keep it for another month. But it's pretty epic, and that's what I'm focused on right now, is just selling the tools, the leads, the data, the dialing software, the AI, and then if you need a VA sourced to make those calls for you, I can source that VA for you. But yeah, no matter what you're selling, guys, it's worth hopping on and taking a look at the data portal to see who searched for what you're selling. I mean, we got a customer that was selling Native American artifacts, and he wanted people that were searching for that. We had another customer that sells hearing aids. I just sold one to a guy that was offering digital marketing services to holistic doctors, and we had a keyword for that. And as soon as he started making calls, he was able to get an appointment. So literally leads for everything, like it says on my Facebook, and I mean that. Popular categories is solar, roofing, insurance, a lot of the typical stuff. A lot of solar guys moved over to insurance, roofing, and we can do a lot of leads for that. But even the niche stuff, like, holistic doctors looking for digital marketing, or if you're a fitness coach, or if you're a wholesaler and you're looking for people willing to sell their house, we've got leads for that. And then we've got the 20-line auto dialer that listens for live human answers. It's calling 20 people at once, so you don't have to hammer the phone. The computer's going to hammer the phone for you, and skip all the voicemails, the dial tones, and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you where I'm living now, and kind of give you an update from Playa del Carmen. I like to do videos. Like I said, we're pretty comfortable here. It's not super cheap. Like I said, it's still costing me about $4,000 to live in this neighborhood if you consider groceries, utilities, and everything else. And the house isn't super big, but it's big enough. I mean, like I said, because I don't have an office in there, I just go out to the co-working space and work. But it is pretty beautiful, and you can sit out here and just chill. And we always do Bible studies here. We do a Bible study on Saturday. We do a Bible study on Thursday. And so we've got lots of friends coming around. We do birthday parties here, and then the kids have their playground so they can come out and play. And it's really neat because it's right in front of where we live. So it's not bad. I mean, we had some water issues when we moved in, and they had to replace the water pump. And I'm glad that the owner decided to replace it with a submersible pump that was a lot quieter. So that works. And we've got a decent backyard. If we wanted to, we could probably put 15, 20 people in the backyard for like a barbecue. And that's why I picked this house, because it had a backyard. And I looked at a bunch of different other spots, like mostly apartments. And I had to, I wanted a backyard because I want my kids to be able to go outside and stuff. Usually they just come out here though, so the backyard is almost pointless, but we do use it to hang clothes. We're using like a clothesline. We've got a dryer, but my wife prefers clothesline. She grew up in the Philippines, so saves money as well. But yeah, we're rocking and rolling, guys. If you need leads or any of the stuff that I just mentioned or talked about, you can just text the word leads, 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 to my phone number, my iPhone. It'll go through as an RCS green bubble text to my iPhone, to 802-349-9386. You can just text the word leads to 802-349-9386, and I will hop on a Google Meet with you, show you the portal, show you how many people have searched for what you're selling in the last 48 hours, and you can make a decision as to whether it's a good deal for you or not. Most people are going to benefit. You can use it for retargeting. You can use it for calls, mailers, email campaigns, whatever you want to do. It also has the ability to scrub for the DNC. So if you're going to call them, you can scrub the DNC before you call. But yeah, no, I enjoy Mexico. I mean, and even being the middle of July, end of July, it's hot, but it cools down at night.